All right, so today guys, the time has come. You know what I'm doing here? Maybe you could figure it out. I'm cooling off the motor for one of the hottest parts on the car, which would be this little guy right here, this downpipe. So I made a nice little Craigslist purchase last night. Got this used off a guy for a really good deal, so that was cool. I get the Cobb downpipe, so I'm gonna go ahead and install this. The flange looks nice and solid, so I am stoked on that. See if we can get a shot next to the car. Downpipe, bitch. So that's gonna go on down here. I'm gonna just let this thing cool off. That's why I'm leaving the fan on it for quite some time. I don't burn the hell out of my hand. And then this bad boy is getting on there. So yeah, stoked. Gonna go stage 2 today. So one of the first things I'm gonna grab is some TIG welding gloves. So I'm gonna use that to handle the hot nuts and bolts, because this thing has probably only been off for, I don't know, 20 minutes or something like that. Looks like most of the stuff is gonna be 10 millimeter. This is the first one I'm gonna be starting with. And then there are a few more down here. Look at them. Where are they? They're down there. Anyways, I don't know if I can get the camera down there, but it's definitely warm. So I'm gonna be, like I said, wearing these gloves. First off, I'm gonna go ahead and get this 10 millimeter bolt right down in here. I'm gonna take that one out of there. Probably just get it by hand the rest of the way. So I'm gonna set those up here for now, and go for the next. Probably gonna need a longer socket wrench for that one. Let's go for this one. Get that on there the right way. Break it loose. All right. None of these are marked with paint, in case you guys are wondering. They do have a Phillips screw, which is, I don't even know why. Ooh, I don't know why you'd want to use a Phillips screwdriver, but anyways, those bolts do happen to have that. So these are coming off pretty easy. Again, this is a fairly new car. 24,000 miles on it, 2014 WRX, if you can see down in there. That's where it is. I got those two off at the bottom. Now I got two more right here. And then after that, I'm not sure if there's another one, but I got this one off. So far I've taken off, it looks like five bolts, or five bolts. So far it's been pretty dang easy. None of them have been rusted on there. They're coming off really nice. It could be possibly because it's nice and warm still. All right, so I think I got all the bolts off. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bolts. Let's see if I can't finesse this thing out of here. Pretty wiggly. That's the trick. Push it at a downward angle to the back. That's what you want to do, and then that thing will come out of there. Like I said, it's 8 bolts, and there is the snail. That's the boost maker. The boost maker right there. So now it looks like this actually has a flange for the heat shield. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that. Probably gonna put a little bit of penetrating oil on these bolts real quick and see what we can do with those. See how they break loose, because they may be a real pain in the ass, or they may not be too bad. All right, so I'm gonna put a little bit of penetrating fluid on the turbo bolts and nuts. It might smell like WD for a while, but that's okay, isn't it? Gonna go ahead and take off the intercooler. So grab a 12 millimeter socket, bust these loose, add another bolt over here. That should be 12 mil as well. Go ahead and hit that. That is also on a rubber mount. Over here you have 2 bolts right here. Gonna get those. That goes to this back bracket piece, and then we're going to unsqueeze this clamp. Now also we have the throttle body to intercooler hose clamps, so that is one of the nuts for the worm clamp, and there is another one right down in there. I don't know if you guys can kind of see it, but that's where the other one is. Bolts over here. I'm gonna undo those real fast. Danger zone. All right, I got those. Don't want to drop them. So take that hose clamp off and pull that mount right out. The next step you want to do is you're going to want to get to those hose clamps again. So loosen those up. Now again, these are really loose. Last time I did this, they were loose too. So I want to see how this one is. This was the one that was really loose last time. Yeah, that one's really loose too. So I think I'm probably going to try to get some different hose clamps for these as well, because I think that's a lot of the issue. So you want to go ahead and pull this off too, and now you should be able to pull the whole thing out of there. So this time, here again, here is the hose, right? This is the hose that we're going to be replacing. It does have quite a bit of oil again, just like last time. So I don't know, it just has a lot of blow by, I guess. So it still may have been having a little bit of a leak. I was hitting target boost. I would hit 16 to 16.5 pounds of pressure, and I did the hairspray trick last time if you guys saw my how to fix a boost leak. But like I said, these clamps, I think they need to be upgraded. Just so I can show you guys a good view of this, there is the actual throttle body itself. So this is the hose that I clamped on there, or the piece that I had put the hairspray on. So got quite a bit of oil on it, just like it did last time. Quite a bit of blow by. So I may need to get a air oil separator. That would be kind of nice. So this one is a one-piece design that's going to go on there. All right, guys. So here's another view of the turbo. Here are the bolts right here, side, and down below. There's a set here too. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt to crack those loose. I did have to take off the intercooler, so you may want to just do that as the first step. I was just kind of being lazy and wanted to see if I could just leave it on there. But obviously this just gives you so much more room and access, and the intercooler is a very simple part to take off. It literally takes less than 5 minutes. So next I'm going to try to crack these bolts and get this downpipe off. Alright, so this is going to be my first attempt to crack these bolts off. We'll see how that goes. I stuffed a rag just into the outlet of the turbo off the compressor, so that's what's going into the intercooler. So I just put that in there just so we don't get any foreign debris or anything like that in the turbo. Keep it nice and clean. So let's go ahead and try to break this loose. See what happens. All right, that one loosened up. So that is a plus. So let's see. The bolt itself is spinning. So I know these are a forged bolt. They're like a Subaru factory bolt. I saw them on Rally Sport Direct last night. Like they're about $9 a piece. I'm just gonna attempt to reuse these. If next time they do not come off well, then I'm gonna buy some new bolts. But I forgot before I left to go grab anti-seize. You have to put anti-seize on these, or else these will freaking just lock on there. You're never gonna be able to get them off. But right now the threads are super clean, so I mean that's just awesome. There's no rust on this, so that's kind of amazing. These things, some of this stuff tends to rust pretty quickly, but like I said, nice quality forged bolts. So we'll go ahead and try to take off the rest of these and get down to it. Crack that other one loose. So for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave this bolt kind of on there, but I'm gonna go ahead and take this bracket off just so I can get that out of the way. Kind of might interfere a little bit, but I just want to make sure the bolts are on there so I'm not giving it like uneven torque or whatever, putting too much pressure on there. I want to give it some play room when I'm torquing off these other ones. Alright, so I'm going to try to get this one right now. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and try to use this old, breaker bar trick on this one. See how that works out. Alright, that helped it out really easily. So I just slipped into my jack over this, over the socket wrench. Just give me a little bit more torque. All right, let's roll down under. Okay, we have this little bracketry right here. So there is a bolt up there. I'm gonna take off, probably take that off last. These last two bolts. There is also a bolt here as well. You have your O2 sensor here, so you need an O2 sensor socket which I have one of those, and hopefully it's the right size, or else I'll be going to buy one. And then you're gonna want to disconnect this mid pipe. So my mid pipe is SPT, and it is actually non-resonated. Get this off of here. Clamp right here is like kind of the main little clamp that it rests itself on. Kind of unhook it off that. Now we got to be careful because the O2 sensor is actually still plugged in, so I'm gonna go ahead and unplug that. The O2 sensor, there is just a little spot that you push on, and that just unclicks. All right, moment of truth. Pull this off the tab again, push back on the tab, and kind of just bend down. Yeah, could pinch the hell out of you though. All right, so there's that. See how this is working. Oh, so what I forgot is, I guess there's two lower heat shield bolts. So that's lame. I gotta get those. So I forgot about these two bolts right here. Yeah, they're like right there. So I gotta get those off real fast. All right, this is that little tab I was talking about. It just pulls up, and then you're able to just kind of pull it right off there. So it's actually really nice because when you go to put it back in, you can just click it on. So it makes it a really easy item to install. But I gotta get those two bolts off, the heat shield, and then we will be set. All right, so I got those last two little nuts out. I'm gonna try to see if I can't manipulate this thing out of here. See kind of how that goes. I may knock over the camera in the process, so sorry guys. But this little shield is kind of getting in the way. But besides that, it's very simple to get out. All right guys, so there is the stock compared to the Cobb downpipe, and I'll show you the bell mount in front of these. So that's how open this is, and then you'll get to see the stock downpipe. Stock downpipe is fully restricted. This plate is blocked off where the wastegate would normally open. So yeah, it just dumps right into that. So you can tell just how much more air this thing is gonna flow. Also, you have the high flow catalytic converter on there, spun. So that is nice. Whereas on this, you have two catalytic converters. So that is gonna quiet down the car, I'm thinking, quite some bit. So, like I said, pretty soon here, you will see the after noise or after shot of this. I'm gonna go ahead and install it. Okay, and if you don't know what an O2 sensor socket looks like, it looks like this. So basically, I mean, it just goes over there. Now this is the only one I have. It's a tad loose, but it's pretty damn close. So I think I'll be able to bust it out of there without having to buy another one. But yeah, you might want to get the right size, obviously. Okay, so you're gonna want to take the stock donut gasket off here and just apply it back onto your Cobb one. Now on this Cobb one, the Cobb pipe, it's a tad bit loose, but once that smashes down, I don't think it'll be an issue. If it is, I'll just buy a new one. All right, so let's see how this does trying to bust this loose. We'll try this out real quick. All right, O2 sensor is loose. So this is another one of those items that you definitely want to apply anti-seize right on the thread quite a bit so that you don't seize this up and you're able to get it out again. So that's very important next time you want to play around with this thing. All right guys, so once you're under the car too, now's a good time to, check out what the backside of your turbo looks like. So you might just want to check the shaft in play and make sure, make sure everything sounds good. You usually have all your car running and all that stuff, so I'm just gonna spin it. Making sure it sounds nice and smooth. And my wastegate looks good. So that's cool. I mean, as far as I can tell, it looks good. I don't really know. But yeah, that's a good sign. I'm not hearing anything. I'm not feeling any bit of shaft play or anything like that. So that's good. It's something you may want to check just while you're down in there for the health of your turbo. And also just look, make sure the turbine looks all good, you know, nothing looks banged up or gummed up or anything like that.